go into their theater program. Also, when I first got here, I was real unsure of how the sort of individual, self-motivation thing really worked at Evergreen, and I was sort of skeptical about it. But now it's like spring quarter, it's toward the end of an entire year, and it's like the people who couldn't get themselves self-motivated have sort of been weeded out or got disinterested or just needed more structure and went somewhere else. But it's amazing. I mean, I have practically no assignments that have been handed to me by my teachers, but I find myself working 10 hours a day, whether that be on my own, practicing voice or music for 2 hours a day. I'm into rehearsal for this piece that I'm doing for 2 to 3 hours a day, and into writing music for it for another 2 or 3 hours a day. And that's great. I mean, I enjoy keeping busy, and I think I get a lot more done just for myself by doing that.
My name is Greg Skay, and I've been involved with the FOVA program here at Evergreen for the last 2 quarters. It's been a marvelous program. I think from idea and concept to some rough sketches and on to, in my case, pastel drawings, I was very involved in the whole process of exactly what I was doing. And again, the capability of breaking that image down, and so I could ask myself halfway through, what actually is present in that work or that image that I was involved with, rather than what am I reading in. Being able to ask the question, what is actually present, what is actually there, is very important. One of the things that FOVA did provide was a climate in which I could find some of my own solutions. I think that one of my primary educational objectives being here at Evergreen is to learn how I learn best.
All over the state of Washington for a school, and I found that all the rest of the schools were competition for A's and B's, whereas here at Evergreen, you are learning within your own limits. You set your own limits, and you are learning things within that limits. You're not competing with another student. You're just actually competing with yourself, trying to learn as much as you can out of the programs that they have to offer here.
why it's important to understand
Yeah, God, it moved like crazy. Which one is it there?
they play in society.
Can you
It's all right
point me?
there because we build it right into the program rather than having 3 separate courses in which the student has only the barest chance.
Really hard not to let this thing move. It's just like,
You can lock it.
Let me try that again. One of the most impressive things to me about Evergreen when I was a student was the contact with the faculty. I remember going for a summer job and on the references listing one of my faculty members, and the guy who eventually hired me for the summer job was just terribly, terribly impressed that he could call up a faculty member at a state college who actually knew one of his students by name and could speak knowledgeably of his work. That got me the job.
Yeah.
The employer was extremely impressed with that.
I want to talk about the field trip we last week to the state capitol and saw their initial graphics.
Now, one of the activities we do during the winter and spring is make some visits, some field trips to see the applications of computers. 2 of the interesting ones that we've done the last few years are, one is to a local newspaper, Daily Olympian, where you see the growing impact of computers on the functioning newspaper business. Just like Lou Grant, only you're right there and you're actually seeing how it's done and how it's growing. In fact, it's stunning to go 1 year as a faculty member. The students don't get to do this, but as a faculty member, I go 1 year and I see they have computers in X, Y, Z areas of the production process, and I go the next year and they've already introduced more computers than they were using the year before. That's a very, very stunning experience for me. Students just have to believe me kind of when I tell them. Another area which has been particularly interesting is the Department of Transportation for the state of Washington, where they use computers for simulated photography and design. And I think there the most stunning example was the computer enables them to impose upon a real photograph of a scene a highway or a bridge which doesn't exist, but with which they can create a photograph that looks absolutely real, as if the highway or the bridge were there. They can impose one on top of the other by computer design techniques. And so you look at the picture and you start scratching your head. Well, I didn't think they built that bridge yet. I had this experience. I didn't think they built that bridge in Seattle yet. Well, they haven't built the bridge yet, but with computers, they created a photograph that looked exactly like the bridge already existed. It was totally real. So those are
on this field trip next time.
it's a very stunning and graphic experience with seeing what computers can do.
Yes.
Another subject you want to ask about coordinated studies. I know you're going to click on this stuff right now, but
okay. Well, we'll go.
We're taping right now.
I don't think any discussion of coordinated studies would be complete without talking about a subject that Chaz hinted at, which is small classes. No discussion of coordinated studies is complete without talking about the fact that most students spend most of their time in small classes of 20 or 50
Okay. Well, where you want to go?
And I just think you can't
Okay, ready?
overestimate
Go.
the importance of that. Particularly in a coordinated studies like ours, which is for first and second year.
String's way out on. Bring it back.
Sort of hearing. Okay.
It's a close contact, which makes going to college a little bit more comfortable, as opposed to being in a lecture class of 1,000. In particular, it makes it possible for faculty to work with students in their writing. I can't say too much about that. If I have even 40 or 60 students